Is it true that Jimin just uttered Jungkook's heartbreaking words just 28 minutes ago? And how did Hyuk come up with a way to stop all this drama? Find the answer here. You're not gonna believe what just happened. Imagine when you were engrossed in watching BTS's live training feed. Suddenly the screen goes dark and pieces of shocking moments appear that make the entire army around the world transfixed. "Jimin, if you can't do it, you better back off," he said. In the next instant, Jungkook's expression changed completely. There was no characteristic laughter, no cheerful smile, only the look of eyes holding back tears. And the most stressful, 28 minutes ago, the words were literally thrown out, leaving Jungkook speechless and bowing his head. Not quite there. Hyuk's name suddenly appeared, plunging directly to stop the heated situation. Before you click the close button because you think this is just sensational news, wait a minute. There are pointed hints that this event is not just an internal drama. There are bigger implications to friendship, ambition, and maybe even unwritten rules within BTS. Sure, we have an exclusive leak of what happened backstage a second before the words took off into the public. How could a short sentence from Jimin have such an impact? What really happened between them? And why did Hyuk have to step in just when things were peaking? These things are still a mystery that hasn't been fully solved, but this article will uncover every layer of the drama, from Jungkook's battered reaction, his sudden encounter with Hyuk, to the implications that await behind the camera's spotlight. And before you continue reading, don't forget to drop us a line in the comments, hit the like button, and subscribe to avoid missing out on the next surprise update. Because as you know, news about BTS is always changing at lightning speed. And we'll always be here to tell you what's really going on. About 28 minutes ago, the atmosphere inside the HYB recording studio located in the Bangbatong area of Seoul changed dramatically. The rehearsal room that had been filled with laughter and the sound of music suddenly stopped when a short phrase was thrown from Jimin. In one corner, a glass wall that usually reflects the soft blue light of LED lights casts a riveted shadow of Jungkook, his shoulders down, while all eyes are on him. There are eyewitnesses who say that at that time, Jimin was talking about a new task given by the choreography team, a tough challenge that required extra work. The words, "If you can't do it, you better back off," came out of Jimin's lips without further ado. It seemed at first glance that his tone was a bit cold, as if he was testing Jungkook's toughness. In a matter of seconds, the aura in the rehearsal room turned so tense, a rare atmosphere occurred between these two normally very close members. Several reporters and fans who happened to be in the vicinity of the HYB building claimed to have heard cries for help from inside the studio. It was like someone stopped for a moment, then there were sobs, but it was just Jungkook holding back the tears, said one fan who managed to record part of the moment through his cell phone. The video then went viral in a matter of minutes, prompting the big question, what exactly did Jimin say to her? Why did Jungkook get hit so hard? While the army poured in the comments, guessing the worst-case scenario, HYB's building looked busy as hell. The gate of the security monitor showed that Hyuk, the big boss behind the scenes, immediately rushed towards the rehearsal studio. The internal footage we received, although the quality was not clear enough, showed Hyuk entering the room at a fast pace, his face not showing hospitality at all. Hyuk's young eyes looked determined, as if he was ready to prevent something worse from happening. Practically just an ordinary sentence, Jimin's expression turned out to have many layers of meaning. Why did Jimin suddenly behave like a boss? Usually the two of them, Jimin and Jungkook, interact with tenderness and candor. Moreover, they often show chemistry in front of the camera during rehearsals or filming dance videos. Today, however, there is no joke. There's just tension. Sources close to the two members, who asked to remain anonymous, explained that this particular task has to do with preparing for a comeback that involves a very elaborate new choreography. Jimin felt that Jungkook was too tired with his busy schedule. He was worried that if Jungkook forced himself, the quality of the show would deteriorate. That's why Jimin seems to be rebuking hard. But the way he chose seemed too piercing. So said the source, confirming that there was no malicious intent behind Jimin's words, just concerns conveyed in a less appropriate way. However, news circulated that there was another factor that made Jimin very frustrated at that time. A number of insiders leaked that a few days earlier, Jungkook had been caught postponing additional training that was actually scheduled. The schedule of filming commercials, radio interviews, and preparations for the world tour made Jungkook sleep poorly and often feel tired. Jimin feels Jungkook's position is a bit out of control. He looked at the training footage and found Jungkook's movements seemed imperfect when they should have been polished for decades. Jimin then tried to motivate, but his words missed so like a sharp shot, he said. Nevertheless, there is also a suspicion that this is not just a matter of practice. There is a growing rumor that behind the scenes, there is a difference in vision between Jungkook and Jimin about the concept of artists in today's era, whether to prioritize the quality of artists or simply take advantage of popularity to satisfy fans. Jimin, who is known to be more of a perfectionist, seems to want to assert that every move should be clean and meaningful, while Jungkook, who is very sensitive to public pressure, wants to take a little time to rest and restore energy. This difference culminated in Jimin throwing words that made Jungkook heartbroken. The 10-second video that circulated on social media was the beginning of theory after theory. Some said, look at Jungkook's expression when Jimin said that. He held back anger and tears at the same time. There was also a point towards the moment when hyuk suddenly stepped in and pulled Jimin to the side, giving a kind of warning. According to one of the production staff we managed to interview anonymously, hyuk actually walked out of his room and headed straight for the studio as soon as he heard the news that tensions between these two frontline magne were mounting. Bang PD understands very well that the slightest disagreement between members can have an impact on group dynamics, public image, and even album sales. So when he came, he did not hesitate to calm Jimin down and hug Jungkook briefly, whispering, "You are still your brother." In the midst of the stressful situation, Jungkook was seen sobbing softly and turning his face away. Hyuk gently patted Jungkook on the shoulder, then looked at Jimin with a stern look. "You talk to him with words that can be destructive," Hyuk whispered in his recorded voice. Jimin looked speechless, but his gaze said one thing, a jumble of regret, anger at himself, and confusion. Shortly after Hyuk's intervention, all the BTS members who were practicing in the studio next door suddenly came out while looking down. V, RM, Suga, and Jeon rushed to their magne, standing in a shield-like circle between Jungkook and Jimin. They ducked as if to prevent the fans' cameras from recording, but HYB's internal camera made sure everything was recorded. At that time, the audience watching the live stream observed every second of the moment. Comments in the live chat column fluttered. Why does Jimin sound so cold? What does he mean by such words? Are these signs of a major feud within BTS? Please calm Jungkook. They even asked the management to block the broadcast if the situation gets worse. Within minutes of the video spreading, the hashtag Jimin Jungkook drama started trending on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. There is also hashtag Hyuk intervention, which shows the army's respect for Hyuk because he is considered the savior of the situation. Meanwhile, rumors began to circulate. Was this not just a brief disagreement, but a sign of a communication gap between the members? Another internal source revealed that since the beginning of this year, BTS's schedule has been getting denser. World tours, new album promotion schedules, collaborations with global brands, and high-end fashion magazine photo shoots make all members have to rack their brains in order to maintain physical and mental health. Jimin, who has a high sensitivity to detail, felt the weight begin to show on Jungkook's stage movements. While Jungkook, who is known for taking care of his physical condition with discipline but also human, feels he needs more rest time to perform optimally. That on the other hand, fans who tend to be overprotective also take part in this drama. They defended Jungkook under the pretext, "Jungkook has been pressured too many times. Let him breathe." There were also fans who criticized Jimin. "You are too harsh. Isn't Jungkook the new kid?" As a result, online media flooded their main page with sensational headlines such as "Cold War among BTS magne," and Jungkook almost uploaded a photo crying. Fortunately, Jungkook managed to restrain himself and did not make any public statements that could have been more heated. The secret behind Hyuk's intervention: Hyuk is not just an ordinary manager. He is a central figure who serves as a bridge between BTS members and management. His reputation is built on exceptional sensitivity and a keen instinct for potential conflict. Many say that Bang PD never misses a single detail. It was evident when he suddenly appeared in the rehearsal studio, showing that he monitors every movement and interaction between members. According to an exclusive interview with a production assistant, Bang Si-hyuk had already prepared anticipatory measures before coming. When Bang PD came in, we saw him like a soldier leading an army. He quickly took the distance between Jimin and Jungkook, restrained them if necessary, then gave a pause. He knows that if this little conflict is left unchecked, imagine the reaction of fans and the media. The situation could spiral out of control. Bang Si-hyuk then invites Jimin and Jungkook to a private room in the studio to talk intensely. From behind the closed door, the two of them whispered. Jimin, who initially looked strong, then lowered his head. His voice began to tremble. Jungkook, who had previously held the wound in his heart, slowly looked at Jimin with gleaming eyes. There was an aura of wordless questioning. What has happened between you guys? Why is Jimin so sharp? And in the corner, Bang Si-hyuk stood, mediating and enforcing the balance. There was one moment that was most riveting and clearly recorded. Bang Si-hyuk held Jimin's shoulder, looking at him sternly. You're talking to your own sister. Consider your words carefully. The two singers of Stay Gold then fell into silence. The whirlpool of emotions seems to stop there, a point where any misunderstanding can be discussed, or it ends up being swallowed up by the ego. What has Jungkook been hiding all this time? It's no secret that while Jungkook is the youngest member, Magne receives the most attention, not just from the public, but also from senior members. Since his debut, Jungkook has shown remarkable talent, smooth vocals, energetic dance moves, and athletic abilities that make him a multi-talent. However, behind the talent, there is a human side that is often covered. The feeling of doubt, the pressure to always be perfect, and the need to feel accepted. According to an old, but still relevant, article on Jungkook's background, he once had trouble adjusting to a tight schedule when he was first orbited. Many choreography coaches praised his abilities later, but in the beginning, Jungkook even had to deal with panic before performing on the big stage. That flavor may never disappear completely. It just blends into the sophistication we see today. With the burden of expectations so high, from the public, from parents, to the members themselves. When Jimin said the word retreat in the context of rehearsals, Jungkook felt it wasn't just advice. It's like saying, you're not good enough. You can't. And Jungkook, who has always carved out confidence, was heartbroken to hear the voice of his best friend and senior plunged so deeply. There is also a story that is not widely known to the public. A few months ago, Jungkook suffered a serious thigh injury. Despite recovering, the speed of that recovery made him worry that his performance was not returning to its best point. Although Jimin knew about the injury, it was seen that Jimin's worries turned into frustration when Jungkook was left behind several times during intense training. I was disappointed when I saw him like a helpless stranger, Jimin's exasperation whispered in the ear of a staff member. A false sense of worry pours into a hand that throws words. Explosive reaction of fans on social media just minutes after the video of the drama spread. The army in all parts of the world reacted. In the United States, a tweet about the moment garnered thousands of retweets in a matter of hours, containing the comments, "I can't believe Jimin was so mean," or "I wonder what happened when they walked out of the studio." While in Indonesia, similar trending topics appeared on Twitter. Jimin Selasankan Padamu, protect Jungkook, Bang Si-hyuk safe. International fans who used to know Jimin as a gentle person denounced his remarks as too sharp. They speculate that this could be a sign of greater disunity or at least signal an imbalance when one of the Magne falls too tired. Some of Jimin's fanatical fans tried to explain that Jimin only cares about the quality of Jungkook's appearance and health. The drama in this virtual world does not stop there. Live chats on TikTok, YouTube, and VLive are full of speculation, with some even speculating about betrayal among the Magne. In fact, Jimin and Jungkook have been brothers for a long time, often laughing together, drinking coffee in the middle of the night, and exercising together. But momentary trauma can cast a shadow of uncertainty in the minds of many people at the same time. The official BTS fansite group, and several ARMY communities tried to put out the flames of this feud. They shared a compilation of Jungkook and Jimin's moments together, reminding us that true friendship is sometimes tested by small pebbles. They've had arguments about choreography, they've had disagreements about outfits, they've even fought over eating instant noodles. But